All right, good morning, everyone. This is progress meeting number 11 for the Donovan Smith Mobile Home Park Sewer and Water Extension Project. We have used 322 days out of a 630-day contract, puts us at 52% of the time used. And by my estimates, about 28% of the work has been completed. And that differential has kind of remained consistent meeting to meeting and is mostly due to the late start. And if you remember, the project got notice to proceed in February, but really didn't start almost till June. So since they've been on site, work has been progressing pretty much on schedule. And speaking of schedule, I would call your attention. I got the contractor to submit a revised schedule, a new schedule for the remainder of this project, and that's attached to this agenda. So you can take a look at that. It shows the project still being completed within the completion date, and the timeframes for the water and sewer work have shifted around a little bit. So again, that's attached here to this agenda. Work completed since the last meeting. It was, Thanksgiving into Christmas, et cetera. Still got a decent amount of work done. They completed almost 300 feet of sanitary sewer, mostly on Seneca Street. I know they wanted to continue on Grandview, but there were some issues with the water, and they need to come back and install some well points to finish out on Grandview. They installed 8 Ys at Seneca Street also, and they put all the 18 sewer clean out frames and covers in Cooper Circle. And then there was about 77 cubic yards of type B stone that were placed. And I think that was mostly in Seneca Street with the reconstruction of the, I guess the restoration of the trench.
You need a pen? Yes, please.
So work to be completed in the next month. They're going to continue on with the sewer main installation. The crew that's there now is going to continue and working on Seneca and Grandview. Some of you may have noticed today the well point crew is back. Contractor had thought he was going to be able to complete some of the remaining sanitary sewer work without well points, but it's just too wet. So I know they're back installing well points in Grandview. Is that where they're installing?
We're on Seneca.
Oh, in Seneca.
Yeah, we're installing well points on Seneca probably the next 2 days.
Gotcha.
We're on Grandview right now laying sewer.
Right.
Fairview. We're on Fairview laying sewer, not Grandview.
Drop back there.
We drop back to
hit the
Fairview.
water.
Yeah. And so we'll probably go back to Seneca once they fire those well points up
Gotcha.
next week, I would think.
And again, Dwayne has been pretty good with keeping people abreast day to day of any shifts in the work or in the near term schedule. SRF funding, I guess the only thing to report there is wage rate interviews were performed at the August progress meeting. Those interviews are basically where we go out and make sure the employees of the contractor, we interview them, make sure they are getting the certified rate for the project. That was completed. We'll do that again before the end of the project sometime. In addition, contractor has to provide certified payrolls weekly, and we review those to make sure that they're complying with the wage rates. And that's been ongoing, and Vicky's been sending me that pretty timely, and so far all has been well there with that paperwork.
And the uplift in wages built into the overall target.
The what wages?
The uplift in wages, right? That happened. Still happening next year. Is that built into our math on the project?
I'm not sure of that, to be honest with you.
It's a known number that's out far in advance.
It's based on your bid.
Right. So the wages, I believe, stay the same no matter when the work is done.
Yeah, it's just because
I'm not sure of that. Yeah.
funded by the, it's funded through state monies or federal monies. You have to either do Davis-Bacon or prevailing wages, whichever one's higher. But it's built into your math, I believe, when you put the bid in.
Right. But
So there's a wage rate determination for that it was obtained specifically for this job. That's in the contract documents. But I don't, I don't know the answer to that question for 100% for sure. I don't know the answer.
I've never seen them change.
Yeah.
From once you start to once you finish.
Neither have I. I've never been involved in a project. But yeah. I don't ever remember having an adjustment in the wage rate as we went.
I just maybe. I got 15 minutes.
Gotcha. But I'm gonna look into that for sure, double check. Payments, we've gotten 10 applications for payment to date. I know I just processed number 10 right before the holidays. I said you've been paid. I'm not sure about number 10 or not, but it should be.
I haven't heard anything.
Del dot items, there really are no del dot items until we get back into del dots right away, which would be the work on Donovan's Road. And most likely that's not going to happen until till we do the final paving on the project. Just a reminder, contractor needs to call Miss Utility 48 hours in advance. Notification to residents, GMB, Dwayne, I think by now everyone knows Dwayne pretty well. Dwayne's coordinating, communicating with the residents of what's going on a daily basis, pretty much. Haven't heard of any issues there. Same with communication with residents. I think by now everyone knows that they need to go to Dwayne first if there's any issues. All RFIs are to be submitted in writing to me. I know Johnny knows the routine. We worked together for quite some time now. Safety, as far as I know, there have been no safety incidents to date, which is great. And we want to keep it that way. And just a reminder that safety is the sole responsibility of the contractor, and the contractor needs to abide by all local, federal, state safety regulations, including OSHA. Submittals, I believe we're up to date on submittals, with the exception of maybe some of the paving type submittals. All right. Survey stakeout, cut sheets would be provided at least 24 hours in advance. I think a few weeks back, I got some revised cut sheets from Atlantic, so that process has been going pretty smoothly. I don't know of any job site resident complaints in the last month. I know we had a complaint about the taste of the water over in Cooper Circle and some air in the water, and that was the previous month, but I hadn't heard of any complaints in the last month.
Any comments?
The total inspector hours for the last month that we used 148.5. That gives us a total of about 1,013 hours, and there's 2,486 hours. And what's interesting, if you do the math here, we've used about 30% of the inspection time, which is about what the percent completion for the work is. So that's kind of jiving what I said about the late start. Mostly the difference in percent completed versus time completed is mostly due to the late start. There were 2 lost days to weather last month. There's 6 days in total, which is not unreasonable at all for the project to date. Trench backfill, just again, a reminder every meeting to continue managing the material that comes out. The material, fortunately, in that community there, the material is excellent, sandy, free draining material. So we want to use as much as possible, go back in the hole. And I think Dwayne and Teal have been managing that to date pretty well. Contingency items, these are items that we have in the bid to be used if and when necessary. Last month, the only contingency items that I'm aware of was 2 hours of utility crew rate. And I think that was related to when they hit those unknown septic lines on Seneca, right? Another reminder, you guys are responsible for maintaining a set of red lines, and I haven't heard lately how that's going. I'll have to talk to Dwayne a little bit, just make sure keeping those up to date. Change orders, we have 2 change orders to date related to the connections, the water connections for the different for the backflow preventer, and then connections at some of the lots that do not have mobile homes on them. Discussion items. I know there was a discussion last month by one of the residents about ponding water in front of their property. Subsequent to the meeting, we went out, Teal went out with JMB, looked at the issue. Teal went and cleaned a lot of the fabric protection on the inlets, which helped tremendously, actually. Beyond that, I know that we had discussions with the owner of the park, Mr. Burnham. He came in, contracted with Harry Caswell, and Harry Caswell is a plumber, came out and he flushed the line, the drain line, and that even further improved the drainage. I know that talking to Tony, the on-site fellow from Burnham, I think they want to go forward and do some additional repairs to that storm drain system before the project's complete. So that'll be a good improvement also in that area. So as far as that, I didn't have any other discussion items, but we can go around the table here in the room and start with Austin.
Do you have any more services connected?
No,
So it's still just 20 curves up, but.
it's everything in Cooper Circle. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
And they won't be back for some time. I don't know where that shows on the schedule, Johnny.
Well, I gotta get the rest of the sewer in and then the water main in, so probably not till early summer before you see what.
Yeah, it's just for us for Bill. Yeah.
The other thing that I'd like to see in the next thing, which kind of goes to what Austin was saying as well, how many total trailers are in the park? How many have gotten water and how many have gotten sewer as a number? 'Cause
Okay.
At the end of the day, that's what matters, right?
Yeah, I can.
Everything else is just math,
Hmm.
linear feet. I mean, I get it, but
Yeah.
these guys care about clean water, I think, and sewage.
Johnny, is there any chance I mean, obviously the sewer's has to get 100% complete. Is there any chance that you would complete the water in sections or streets or whatever and bring Harry in sooner?
There is. It's
Okay.
just,
Timing.
yeah, it's a matter of timing and we know when I have another crew to come in.
Gotcha.
So if a crew breaks free, then absolutely we'll try to get them in here and start on some water so we can release Caswell earlier. As it stands right now, I just can't commit to that.
Gotcha. And, I know this is not the time of the year for paving, but is there any thought that you might come in sooner than what's shown on the schedule and start, boxing out, base paving some sections?
Definitely Cooper Circle. I think you would wait till March though at this point
Yeah.
before I did
agree.
that.
Okay.
And then it just, at that point, it just depends. Do I have the other crew in here that's done some water in the same area that I've got the sewer done? Before I would base pave anything else.
Gotcha.
Has anybody here or in Donovan Park done anything with looking at the water quality? I know there's home tests that you can do and different things. Has anybody ever done any of that? Do we know of?
I had sent it away twice and I haven't heard anything. The first time I sent it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Never heard anything. So I sent it again, but
You gave it a couple
Yeah.
back.
we have,
I did it at my house and I never got it back either. And I
yeah,
think the reality is if it's good, they don't care, right?
right.
They want to come and sell you a product, obviously, is what they're
Yeah.
trying to do. Okay, good. Thank you.
It was noted there was 18 sewer clean out frames that were done, so there's 20 that are done. Cooper Circle.
There was one that was done prior. Because it was in the middle of a driveway. So there's actually 19, because there's only one clean out for trailer 12 and 13.
Was that one got moved?
Yeah, no. Trailer number 12 and 13, there's 2 water services, 1 clean out, remember? So you only have 1 clean out for those those two things. 9 is where we switched from 8 to 9 and we eliminated the 1 to 8 and made it over to 9. So that still counts. That we had 1 that was put in and we put 18 more in.
Okay. And that was gonna get covered underground. That one's not gonna get left.
It's backfill
Okay.
taken care of.
So one was done previously, so that's why you got 18 now.
Yes.
Okay.
It was, like I said, it was in the middle of the driveway and I had access so I could get to their driveway.
Yeah, I just don't remember reading that. Sorry,
That was
before.
quite a few months ago.
Okay, thank you.
I'm good, thank you.
Good. I'm good.
No, no, no.
All right, so the next progress meeting would be February 7th. Right here at 10 a.m. All right, thank you, everyone.